sucks. All right, we're on the air. Back. It's take 2. New Year's 2014. Holy Goalie, the Game Hounds with Nick DiNicola and Edie Sellers, and she's trying to get Piss Boy. No, he won't play PS4 with me, and he's not even on my Skype.
Friends list?
On my Skype.
I don't know why he's not on your Skype list.
He just does this. He does this all the time. He's just like that. So we're back live. So what have we been playing? We started to talk a little bit about that. You guys been playing the Warframe, but you won't play with me. Okay? So nobody
There he is.
Oh,
I'm here.
Boy, you came, what were you, wrestling with that microphone? Holy cow.
The thing didn't pop up to join. I'm going, okay, just here waiting.
So you're rolling around on the ground?
Yeah,
with
no,
that
it
thing.
didn't pop up to join because Goalie doesn't have you on his friends list.
Yeah, I deleted you. Everywhere. Deleted you. Yeah, deleted you.
Yeah, I believe it.
Okay, so you were saying...
Yeah. Hey, so has anybody played Knack?
No, and I have heard terrible things about it.
Knack is awesome.
I have not heard terrible things.
Knack
that
is
an overstatement.
Yes, I got it for her for Christmas. Kind of like, okay, I got to give her something to play because she's not going to play Battlefield or whatever for the PS4. And we put it in, and she loved it, and I loved it. And we got a couple other friends that are playing it too. And Knack is awesome. It is so much like the Lego games. That's what I compare it to. It's a platformer, but it's a Lego game. But it's not as complex as a Lego game. A lot of jumping, a lot of things like that. But we had a blast. She played Knack all the way through. Knack is awesome. Edie, I think you would like it. I think you like the kind of the platformer type of games. Yeah. The graphics are great. I don't.
Sometimes
I don't like the jumping stuff because I can never get it, and I've rage quit more platforming games because I've fallen off edges. Okay, you jump, you get all the way to the top and you miss an edge, and you do that 10 times, and it sets you to the bottom every time. And
Nick loves that, and I hate it.
Yep, and I'm done. So I have walked away from more of these games than I can count. Knack, though, is so fun.
From what I've seen of Knack, it seems less like a platform and more of like just a 3D action game.
It's a little bit of everything. It's you run around and you basically what Knack is the goblins have attacked the humans, and instead of just bows and arrows, they have tanks. So they're trying to find out how they get all this technology to build tanks. So they call upon all the smartest people of the humans to go and attack the goblins. And this one scientist created this creature called Knack. And he was made up of the raw materials that they use to power their society, these little sunstones or whatever they are. So he created a being out of these sunstones, and he's going to go and help fight the goblins. Now, along the way, when you destroy things, you suck in all the sunstones, and you become bigger and bigger and bigger. As they hit you, you lose health, and you get smaller and smaller and smaller. So there's jumping, there's fighting, there's all these different things. There's secret rooms to find. It's just real fun. It's just so much fun just to sit back and play, and it's got its frustrating moments. Like I said, you try to jump and you fall off, and you do that a few times. But it is just so fun to play. She played it all the way through. I played it all the way through. There is a co-op mode you can play on the same screen, whereas you can be a second character. It's more of a support role than anything. There's not a lot you can do with them, but you can run around and still punch things if you want. So we played through Knack all the way, and it was absolute blast. Ending boss battle was fair at best, I guess, But it was long. It was a long game. She was playing and playing and playing and playing, and it wouldn't end. And I was like, holy smoke! It just, she would get up in the morning and play. She would get up at night and play, and then I would watch her play, and it was a long game. A lot of fun, though. So you're this little Knack creature, and you go through and do all this stuff, and you're fighting the goblins, and then there's a bad guy in there. And it's almost like a Saturday morning cartoon that you actually play in. And it's good. And I did read a lot of crappy reviews about Knack, too. They were bitching about this, bitching about that. But Knack was good. It was good. She just finished it up last night, so now I'm playing it. And what's really cool about the PS4 that I'm slowly learning more about the PS4 is that, so we installed Knack on her PlayStation. She played it all the way through, and we actually, you go to the controller and log out, and I logged in as me, and now I play Knack, my game of Knack, on my, account, but on her PlayStation. That was really cool. And that's one thing I know that we probably talked about it, but until you actually do it. Because I was like, I got to take it downstairs, install it on my system. And, I get a lot of games on my system. My hard drive's starting to fill up pretty quick now, and I don't have to now. I can actually play it on her system if I want to. So, yeah, a lot of Knack, a lot of Resogun. Me and Barbara were playing Resogun.
Finally, have kind of enjoyed the beauty of Resogun.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first because I kept, just couldn't get. You know what I did is I played all the games, like 5 minutes of every game. And I'm finally taking time to enjoy some of the games and sit down and play some of the games. So I sat down with Knack, sat down with Resogun, sat down with Warframe. So I'm finally enjoying some of these games on the system. Madden, I sat down and played again. A little bit of everything. I'm finally just sitting down and enjoying. But the Resogun is fun. A little frustrating at times. Sometimes it's just there's nowhere to go on the screen and you die. And it's like, oh, come on. And then sometimes the humans die and you don't know why.
Yeah.
It's like I did it when I played on the wife's PlayStation. On her account, I got all 10 humans. I was like, oh, this is great. Did it 2 times in a row. I can't do it on mine for some reason. When I go to my account, I just keep failing. And so we're playing, and whether it's single player or co-op, all of a sudden it's like, human lost. Why? Why did I lose a human? I don't see anybody bouncing around. I don't see any of the keepers or the creepers or whatever they are. Why did the guy just friggin' die? It's like there is nothing on the screen. You look on the screen, everything is dead on the screen, and the human still dies.
Right.
I think, because it took me a while, and then, I encountered something, and I kind of figured it out, I think, is that, so you know how sometimes the enemies will be glowy, and if you kill all the glowy enemies, then you unlock human.
Right.
And he's free.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I noticed, and it's only in maybe not the first or the second, maybe the second level onward, but there will be groups that they're not just glowing green or they're glowing green, but the one in the front, no. There'll be a group of enemies. Most will be glowing red, but one will be glowing green. If you kill any of the red ones, that human automatically dies. You have to kill them in order from green. So there'll be a huge line of enemies, and if you don't hit that line, perfectly, the human just dies.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah.
But the problem is that there's so much going on.
Yeah.
You can't. How do you pick apart which one to shoot first and which one to shoot second? In fact, someone posted a video on my Facebook wall, and somebody was explaining Resogun a little bit, and the guy even said, he says, this is a great game, but they don't do a good job of explaining it. And he says, so you'll be playing and humans will die or something will happen. And it's like, how did this happen? It's like, I thought I killed everybody. I thought I did this. Sometimes you see something and like, oh, I just got lucky and saw this. And so you can do something. But it like I say, so to figure that out, that someone's red and someone's green, and how do you figure that out? And how do you know what to shoot first? And for me, I'm just shooting everything on the damn screen because it's just one big blur. So the video went on to try to show all this stuff. I'm like, oh, forget it. If I got to try to shoot things in order, especially during a chaotic moment,
right? Dead. Just be okay with that. Just accept your dead human.
Yeah.
And if you get lucky, maybe.
Yeah, and it gets
future,
so
one day you might get lucky.
You know what's funny is so you're playing this, and when it's like human lost, you just don't give a shit. You're like, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to kill everything. It's like, human in danger. No, screw you. Screw you. I don't know why I lost the last one, so now I don't care. If I can't get them all, I don't want any of them. In fact, if I could shoot them, I would. I'd shoot the damn humans after I lose one.
Yeah, my favorite is when they put a box right next to an edge, like a cliff, and you go save them when they jump off the cliff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I have seen them go up in a spaceship, and I've shot the spaceship, and I've caught them out of midair. And it's like, oh, that was cool. I think I saved this guy. But it's when they just die in the box, and you don't know why. It just, as long as I know what I'm doing wrong, I can try to fix it. But when I don't know, and it's just like, oh, human lost, just out of the blue, just okay, you know. And then someone was saying, oh, maybe a multiplier wasn't up high enough, and then now Nick's saying it could be the red ring and not the green ring. That's a little too in depth for a game like that, I think.
Yeah.
I think that game's a fun, simple shooter game, and they don't need to add that complexity to it.
I always assume that the reason why they add complexity is because it's for people that are better players of the game than I am. And I'm okay with that. It's like, all right, so I didn't get a perfect score every single time. I just recognize that it's because this game was made to be a little bit harder than what I can do, but I'm still having fun with it.
Yeah, it's like the higher level play. Like, yeah, we know you can beat the level, but now beat the level and save all the humans.
Yeah, but that's why you have the different difficulty levels. You don't need to make the bottom one so ridiculously hard. And it's like we were playing. I got the Call of Duty Ghost.
Well, you can finish a level and not save all the humans.
Oh
It
yeah,
doesn't stop you
can,
from
but
progressing.
it pisses me off. So, but it's the same thing that with we got the Call of Duty Ghost, and we've just been playing some of the combat training where you set up a private match and you play on the same team against a computer. And boy, you play on the puss of puss modes with radar on, so you can see the enemy and double health. And I mean, it's stacked so much in our favor, and these guys are still climbing up ladders and taking you out. It's hysterical how difficult the easy mode is on the Call of Duty Ghost. Just like the Resogun, it's like no matter how easy you set it up, it's still not. It's not a cakewalk by any means.
Yeah.
But yeah, Resogun been a blast. Knack has been a blast. Still playing some more Battlefield. I got into the jet today on the Lankang Dam map, and I was annihilating tanks. It was awesome. I think I played 90% of the game in the jet. No one could take me out.
Wow.
Yeah, and usually you get up if there's a good pilot on the other team. He gets behind you and you can't shake him, and you're dead in 5 seconds. But they must have not had a good pilot because I was just zipping around taking out tanks. And the key is that if you drag them back to your base, if they're on your tail, if someone is there with a gun, they'll take down the jet that's trailing you. So that's what I was counting on, is that somebody was there to shoot this damn jet that was on my ass, and they did every time. So we were kind of working together as a team, even though we didn't know we were working together as a team.
Right. I love it when those moments happen. When all of a sudden someone does something cool and then you realize, oh, you're getting it. We're working. This is how you win.
Well, like there was that one map, the Paracel Storm, which is if you've ever played Battlefield on the PS,
That's a pretty map.
I hate that map, but it is the best map because that storm comes in and you can't see anything in the sky. You can't take out a helicopter or jet because you can't see it. Everything just gets crazy because of the weather. But I was sitting in a building hiding, and I because I was healing up, and I spotted an enemy sniper. I went down my scope and I hit the button to spot him, and all of a sudden I heard, and my sniper took him out in 2 seconds. It was so cool. It's just like, yeah, I spotted him, and my guy picked him off. So there's been a lot of fun Battlefield moments getting back into that. But most of the holiday was spent playing Knack and playing some of the Call of Duty Ghosts and then Resogun. I tried that contrast a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, it's too girly for you, I think.
It is very girly for me. It's dancing on shadows. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to be the game for me. But what is coming out, and it's going to be free. Don't starve.
Don't starve.
I know. You were talking about that. I got to
I'm
check that out.
so going to lose myself in that game.
I know. I want to check that out.
Playing it easy just so I know that I could go. I can't. So I'm like holding up like my energy so I can play it on PS4 because I don't want to be burnt out when it comes out.
I know. I know.
Love that game.
I just want to see Edie play. That's all I want to see. I want to see her.
You'll have to stream it. You'll have to stream it. We'll have to check that out. Yeah. Oh, by the way, we got a text in on the text line. 304-300-9889 is the text line. And I did get a text in. I want to bring this one up here. Who was it from? I'm calling it up right now. David in Charlotte, North Carolina writes in, and he said, he goes, I need to get the PlayStation camera because he says, if I started to stream with the PlayStation camera and showed my tits, he would watch. So finally, someone is going to watch me show my tits if I stream with a PlayStation camera. Now, I can get away with that, Edie. You cannot. So I am so going to be showing my tits if I get that camera.
My 10-minute foray into the Playroom camera thing, pretty much anybody with a camera in Playroom is going to be people, have at least 100 people And if you took off your clothes, even as a guy, you'd probably 500.
Probably.
Especially if you started doing like the sexy dance, like, oh yeah, no, people would just join in.
You just gotta make sure you keep it game related somehow.
Right.
But yeah, I'm so gonna do that. I'm just gonna get the camera at some point and put it on, and the first person that says "Show me your tits," there they go.
Great.
How much is the PlayStation camera?
$60, like $50,
$50, yeah.
50 or 60, yeah. It's not 50, it's 50. I didn't think it was that expensive. Yeah, they're not that expensive, and it's a pretty good camera, and it works well. And if you have people sexually harass you, especially as a woman, it does not matter what you look like. As a 50-year-old overweight woman, you will get equally sexually harassed as if you are a hot chick, apparently. It's become the new, what's that chat roulette thing?
It's chat roulette, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of skeevy.
Yeah, that's, I mean, and seriously, come on. If you even thought about doing that, you get in trouble, and then they take away your account, or they ban your account, or suspend your account, so it's like, hello, idiot, we're not going to do this.
And the people that have been doing completely legal things, but then someone will find out where, your location, and then they will call your local police station and saying that you're abusing children on the internet and people are watching.
Yeah,
and then the
I know.
cops come over and arrest you.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous when that happens.
Amazon is sold out right now in the PS4 cameras.
Mm-hmm.
I did. I think we talked a little bit on the PS4 arriving on Christmas Eve over here, so we got real lucky with that. But yeah, some of the games I ordered didn't come in until after Christmas, and boy, that was a total mess up for FedEx and UPS this year. Huh? Next year they really got to just say, look, if you don't get the order in by the 18th of December, we're not guaranteeing Christmas Eve delivery, because that was.
You could just see that the whole extended delivery thing was one of those ideas that came from the corporate higher ups, and the truck drivers are like, "Fuck no, it's not going to work." But you said it. Whatever. So we can do that. No, I'm going to go home and have Christmas with my kids. I'm going to take the next 2 weeks off because I'm corporate.
Well, I was December 21st was a Saturday is when I ordered everything and said, if you want a Monday the 23rd, just click overnight delivery. I'm like, really? So I'm ordering on a Saturday, and you're going to get it here. I know it's Christmas, and they're probably working all weekend, but you're going to get it here Monday, and it kind of didn't. Yeah. So.
I ordered stuff where they said, we'll give you free shipping and you'll get it by December 24th. And so I ordered it, and you're going to get it December 24th, except for this one item you're going to get on January 2nd. So I clicked up, I'm like, that wasn't before I clicked it, but dude, I don't want that item now. Yeah. They're like, oh, sorry, it's already sent. How could it already be sent? Well, sorry, you can't undo it now. You just have to send it back when you get it. All right, fine. And then the one I said could get December 24th. 2 days later, December 23rd, I get an email that says, oh, yeah, your stuff's coming on December 27th. Wait, whoa, what do you mean 27th? So, yeah, everything was late. I'm still waiting on one present that I'm going to turn around and send back because fuck you.
Yeah, I think I got it. I just actually went on Amazon and just sent them emails saying, 3 of my packages were late and I paid for overnight, so.
Yeah, Amazon's pretty good. They're being really good about that stuff.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to have to be. Hey, you wanted us to talk about our biggest stories of 2013.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me hit a couple of quick news stories, okay? So
all right.
I'm going to try and hack the news music together. This is going to be really interesting. Where is it? All right, I'm going to try and hack this. Oh, no, don't launch. Don't do this. No, don't download.
It's going to be hacking her.
No, make it go away.
No.
Is that the music?
No. Shut up. Okay, I'm going to try and hack the music together. All right, we're going to try it here. All right. Come on. There we go. This is the Game House News and commentary of the week in gaming with gamer Edie Holy Goldie, Nick DiNicola, and boy. And our first is... did you hear that Battlefield 4, there's lawsuits?
No.
Yeah. That's almost old news, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost old news. But on top of it, they actually just released, DICE just released another announcement today about how they are going to get. They're still having connectivity issues. The double X. First off, they have delayed. Remember, they had that double XP event for the premium subscribers.
Yeah.
And then it got delayed because they made the I'm sorry event double XP
Yep.
week. So they said, all right, you premium members, we're going to delay the December double XP event until after this one. And everybody's like, okay, no problem, cool. So Battlefield 4 said yesterday that it was delaying that double XP event from December again, but they haven't said when it is. But the January double XP event is on January 27th. So right now, it looks like they're going to have 2 double XP events altogether. But on top of it, they're still having a huge amount of connectivity issues, buggy gameplay, as you know. They're still plagued with it. But there are multiple lawsuits. A whole bunch of different lawyers are all suing EA because they're alleging that EA misled the investors about the state of Battlefield 4 before it launched, that it launched buggy, and they knew it was going to launch buggy, and they figured they were just going to fix it on the fly, but they didn't tell the investors about that, which is bad.
Mm.
And the other bit of news that I read today, and I did not put it right in front of me, so I forgot, so I have to search for it. But there was also something else that... Oh, by the way, the Humble Bundle, awesome right now. They have a winter Humble Bundle out. It's got Gone Home and Guacamelee and a bunch of
Have you
stuff.
picked up Gone Home yet, Edie?
No. I've got
You
to.
really should.
I
think you would like that. The more I think about it, the more that becomes my favorite game of the year.
Yep. God dang it, where did I see it? Yeah, and they, by the way, the DICE's announcement is continuing to monitor some intermittent connectivity issues affecting some players across various platforms. In other words,
Kind of like you must have Dice Internet over there.
yeah.
It's expecting certain games and podcasts.
Yeah. Am I
Yeah,
every
every now and then you just kind of drop out a syllable.
Right. Yeah. See, that's the internet dropping out and the ping going up. So I'm glad that you're now hosting it. Because otherwise, that would be
most of my games with Battlefield now are much better. You know, very rare now do I crash and burn.
Yeah, I have to admit they're getting better.
So
better, but that's
good. I haven't tried for a couple weeks.
Yeah, to be fair, it's been a heck of a lot better. So I don't want to dump on them too much. It was horrible in the beginning. And then, of course, even PlayStation went down again. Was it Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or the day after Christmas?
Day.
It was just, we couldn't even get in a party, couldn't get the friends list to come up. And that was that was a prime day to play. I think it was a day after Christmas.
But I think that it was probably because so many people just flooded the market. Because remember, all of those PlayStations that were pretty much sold in certainly the mid-December on, maybe even early December on, all those PlayStations were not being put onto the system. It was on Christmas Day. All of them hit the servers all at once. So, yeah, I'm not going to give them. They recovered pretty fast.
Yeah, they did. But what sucked is we recorded the show last Thursday, the day after Christmas. I'm like, okay, let's everybody go on and play some Warframe and this and that. We get on there and Nick sends me a message. I don't see you online. I don't have any friends. I was like, well, I know you don't have any friends, but and so we signed off and had some listeners of the show and people in the chat room all going to meet us online and settle down for a nice night of PlayStation 4. And then PSN went down to it had to be at least midnight my time.
At least.
Yeah.
It was
spotty. It would come on and then come off. And I did get in the party, but then I couldn't get something else to come up. And then I got into Battlefield, then I didn't. And and then Warframe come up, and then it didn't. And then Resogun come up, and then it didn't. It was just like, I'm going to bed.
I didn't have any problem starting games.
Oh no! Just if you tried to play Resogun with somebody, there was nobody there to play.
Oh yeah.
So there we are, all excited, all proud with our PS4's going to play, and PlayStation goes down. It's like, And then, of course, my buddy was busting my balls because he got an Xbox. He's like, me and my friend, we played Xbox the entire week and never had one issue. I was like, yeah, I heard neither person on Xbox One had an issue. Oh, what a dick.
And I'm still unable to find them in the stores.
Yeah, that's what I want to talk about here when when we're done with the news.
One more quick item, and then we're out.
Okay.
If we're out for news. Christmas Eve. We didn't hear about it. I didn't hear about it until just recently. But Christmas Eve, there's a developer over in the UK called Hello Games. They did Joe Danger, and they did what did they do, Nick?
They're making No Man's Sky.
That's right.
That's big new thing.
They are over in the UK, and I guess the UK was just bombarded with rain over Christmas, and they had some flooding, and the entire offices for Hello Games were hit by massive flooding. Everything went underwater.
Ugh.
Says, we've lost most things: PCs, monitors, furnitures, a door, a wall. You'd think massive water-cooled mega PC would be okay. It was not, according to one of the tweets from Hello Games. And let's see, it was just a real mess. And it turns out that we find out today that one of the Phil Spencer is looking into, because that's, Microsoft is essentially the one that's having them working on No Man's Sky. Microsoft is looking into the situation because it turns out that Hello Games was not insured flooding. So all the company stuff, no insurance.
Ugh.
It's not just like fucked up, but it's lost everything. The whole publisher or the whole developer. That sucks. So Phil Spencer's kind of looking into it, like saying, "Well, what can we do?" Because we didn't anticipate that there would be no insurance for this, and that they're going to need millions of dollars of money to get all this stuff back out of somebody's pocket, and they don't have it. So it's an interesting Christmas story. Yay, Christmas. All right, so let's talk about, you were talking about the biggest stories of the new year, since it is January 1st, 2014. I thought it would be kind of interesting to talk about what we thought were the biggest stories and the most important, and the ones that are going to
one?
No, I think there's multiples. And
No, there's not.
I should say there's the most important stories. Plural.
No, there's only one.
Yeah.
All right. Now, go ahead. What is the only important story?
The DRM reversal by Microsoft. That is, like, far and away, that's the biggest, craziest, most batshit crazy news story of the year. Like, there's not even a contest.
I would say that it's a combination of Xbox releasing the information. I wouldn't even narrow it down to Xbox reversing. I think Xbox reversing is a small, interesting story in a much larger, important story of the entire mismanagement.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say, Edie. My biggest.
But that's the core of it.
Yeah,
all.
no, but I think the biggest news story 2000. Well, this is just mine. Okay, I don't want to say the big, but mine would be the Xbox One and their start to finish. Their whole rollout, their whole marketing ploy, everything that happened with the Xbox One.
Information, like vice presidents of marketing, not even knowing what the features were when they announced the features, so that when people asked them questions, they were putting out incorrect information. What's his name? The guy. Who's this guy? I can't.
Matrix, yeah.
Don Matrick losing his shit on live television, telling you that if you didn't like what we were putting out, go buy yourself a 360?
Yeah.
Come on. It wasn't just the reversal. The reversal was just the culmination of the long line of a major software company, major hardware company, one of the biggest companies in the world, fucking up to a vast degree that has probably not been seen by companies of that level. It was such an amateur hour.
Yeah,
and it culminated in the biggest news story of the year.
Well, I think all of that combined. I mean, there wasn't one piece of that was the news story of the year. The whole Xbox One.
I would say there is. I think all that other stuff
Well, I mean,
when people think back, they're not going to remember Don Matrix saying something. They're going to remember Xbox is no longer requires online. They're going to remember the DRM.
yeah, well, it's also
Don Matrix is a name
they're going to
that
remember,
will, like,
they're going to remember the
fade to
DRM, meaning that
obscurity.
the announcement of the DRM was the biggest news story of the year.
But
if you're
then
gonna
there's
look at
also
it.
the
No,
Connect.
I don't remember that the reversal.
For some people, it's the Connect that they don't have to have that all the time. For some people,
Yeah,
it's the
that would be
idea that now trading in discs they reversed on. And so I mean
Yeah,
the online
right.
connectivity. So I mean you get the
DRM.
Connect, you get the online activity, you get the DRM. All those are big
Activity is
stories. I think all of them are equal to the same. The big three.
I think that was one piece of a very large puzzle that in total the whole puzzle makes the story. It is the story, because if you just look at that one story, it's just the reversal of a DRM or reversal of a previous assertion.
Yeah.
Right.
How is that?
And that
except
that
it's
means that
an
the previous
assertion that the
assertion has to be
it's
part of the story.
No, but it's the reversal. It's not just like, oh, look, they're not doing this feature anymore. It's
Yeah, but-
that, oh, look, the entire guiding philosophy of this console
Right.
has been thrown out.
Yeah,
the
but
window.
Nick, look
And
at
you
the.
have to ask why.
But look
and
at
the why was the whole fuck up prior to it.
It was, but that continues. Okay, that whole story now. I mean, all the issues with Xbox One continued into Christmas because look what happened. PS4s are flying off the shelves. They can't stay in stock, and everybody has Xbox One.
Well, we're making an assumption here.
Until the
We're
numbers come out.
assuming, right? Exactly. We are assuming that Microsoft and PlayStation or Sony had same number of stocks sent out to stores. Sony has said that it is having a hard time keeping with demand. Now the question is, does that mean because demand is high,
you're right,
or because
right.
their production?
But
is
but
low?
again, this from where I'm sitting, the things I've seen here, I know people that are trying to get PS4 and they can't, but Xbox Ones are everywhere. Listen to some other shows where people have said, they've gone into local games. Like one guy said he went to 3 local GameStops, and they're like, yeah, we get about 10 PS4s in a week, and they're gone in 10 minutes. But we still have Xbox Ones from day
right,
one.
but how many?
He says,
Microsoft, how many Xboxes did they put on the shelf to start with, and how much are they
see,
continuing
you
to
didn't
send?
even let me finish my sentence. It's just like talking to my wife. Okay, they still had Xbox Ones from the day one release on the shelf from November 15th. Okay, and they said that they would get in 10 or so, 10 to 15 Xbox Ones a week, and they're still all on the shelf. So they get 10 PS4s in, and they're gone. But the shelves are loaded with Xbox One. They still had day one Xbox Ones there. So the Xbox One.
That says to me that Microsoft sent out way more Xbox Ones because on launch day there were pretty much an equal amount of PlayStation 4. That's already been said. There was, I would say maybe a 10 to 15% difference between Xbox One and PlayStation 4 on launch day, which means Microsoft put fuck ton more of consoles on
We
the
don't know
shelves.
that.
They
We
still
don't
have
know
ones from
that.
launch day.
We don't know that. I'm still hearing, and again, this is you depend where you go. Numbers, or whatever. Republicans and Democrats have different numbers. Xbox and Sony have different numbers. I'm hearing anywhere from 2 to 1 to 3 to 1. PS4 outsold them.
Well, remember back in November when they both came out, in the beginning of December, there were first numbers came out about there was like 2.4 million PS4s already sold, while Microsoft only had 2 million Xbox One sold during that time. So PS4 was bringing out. They seem to be selling out more during that time. The only thing is
well, I'm looking at the Washington Post right now. And this is an article that is dated sometime. Where is it? I can't see the date. All right. So it says right here, Washington Post. Microsoft announced last week its Xbox One sold 1 million units in the first 24 hours on sale. Blah, 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 blah. The Xbox One is Microsoft's first console since 2005 and faces stiff competition from PlayStation 4, which launched a week ahead of its rivals and also reported 1 million sales in the first 24 hours. So on launch day, when those consoles for PlayStation PS4 sold out. They sold 1 million. Microsoft sold 1 million. There's still launch day consoles still on the shelves. It means Microsoft put more consoles on the shelves. What?
That maybe. That's what they say. That's what they say.
I won!
I don't know.
This
So
is my
you think that Microsoft built 1 million to 2 million more Xbox Ones, and
I
that's
think
why?
I think that I don't know if they built them, but they certainly shipped them and got them out to the
They
shelves.
ship ghost boxes.
They filled them full of cans of tuna. With a sorry.
Well, that I guess that's the question.
IOU.
Did they just flood the market, and that's why they're all on the shelf, or just was the demand not there? I mean, that's
Either way, I think like the whole I don't know, like looking at look what's sold, what's outsold what, like where's that? Like there's a real dangerous like fanboy writing line there that
Right.
I find real annoying. Like at some point, if you're looking at like, oh, what sold what outsold what, are you like being journalistic? And at what point are you trying to be like, hey, PlayStation 1 because I got a PlayStation?
Right.
Like, face it, the Xbox One did not fail. It sold pretty damn well.
Right.
That's the main point.
But it would have sold better had it not been launched starting back in June. Launched poorly. It had a lock, and it probably would have gotten people to pay an extra $100 had it been launched in a way that did not piss off the gaming public.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because they
it,
created a lot of bad press, and I've seen a few pictures like on Reddit of pictures of GameStop with hand-drawn signs notifying people like, no, there is no online DRM. You can play pre-owned games.
Mm-hmm.
So that like the general console buying public, not kind of us insider people, still have trouble remembering that. Like they still think that it has this always online DRM. Like
right, and you can't play
the reversal still hasn't quite penetrated everyone that it needs to.
Wow, that says a lot. That the initial assertion that you can't play used games and you're going to be always online permeated the market, and then to a point of where they couldn't undo it. They couldn't put that toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah, because the people that don't follow gaming news, they probably read, oh, hey, new console was revealed, always online. Okay. And, that's just kind of the one gaming news they read for the next 6 months.
Wow. Well, that's... And you saw that at stores, or you just heard about it at stores?
No, I've just seen pictures on Reddit about GameStops that have, these hand-drawn signs.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, yeah, I think we all have to agree that was definitely... We may not agree with the scope of what the news story is, but we certainly agree that the Xbox One, in some shape or form, was the biggest news story of the year.
Yeah. I don't care about the sales. I'm just the fact that Microsoft changed their policy completely 180 so quickly. That to me is the biggest news story, because big companies don't move fast.
And I lost my fucking job. Come on, that's huge. You gotta add that into the. It was just a gift. If you think about this podcast, especially when it comes to goalie, from June until December, that whole story completely consumed this podcast.
Yeah, it did.
In fact, I want to call a moratorium in 2014. Let's. Well,
you know why? Because I loved we all loved our 360. The 360 was great. It did everything we wanted to do. When we wanted a better 360, and instead the route they took, and then all the things in place that we've gone over 100 times, it pissed us off. It's like your favorite TV show getting rid of all the main characters, and it's like, well, that's not my favorite TV show anymore. Then they
right.
Oh
and
well,
then you go, but I liked those characters. Well, fuck you. If you don't like the new characters, go watch something else.
Yeah, watch it on Netflix or
watch
something.
a fucking rerun.
Yeah, and then it's like, well, we're gonna bring this guy back from the dead, and then we're gonna bring this guy back from the dead, and we're gonna the city that got leveled by the nuclear bomb. Well, we're gonna undo that because it was all part of a dream, and they just kind of
the dream sequence. It didn't really happen.
and it's like, oh, it was just kind of, you know. Then PlayStation comes along and they did all the right things, and they you know, I like
PlayStation didn't do the right things. That's the thing, is that Sony didn't have to do anything.
They just stayed the course. They just stayed the course.
Made a box that played a game, and honestly, it's all right. I'm not crazy in love with my PlayStation 4. I'm really not. There's a lot of things that are really annoying about it. In fact, I prefer
Share
my
feature not
360.
working.
Yeah.
Well, we're
the
used to
share
the
feature not working.
Yeah.
The party chat system sucks.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it by now. Yeah. It's not.
You have to send. You can't. Well, to have somebody join your game is not easy. It's different for every single game, and sometimes it's not. You can't get it at all.
I don't know.
It's like
Not really.
Warframe.
Only
Can someone
Warframe.
join a Warframe.
Warframe is its own
Only
game. Yeah.
Warframe does that.
That's its own game. That's
Because
the
Warframe
game.
is fucking
You
weird.
can miss the alerts so easy because the alerts are so understated, and I never
Yes.
thought I'd
Yep.
actually like the blink off of PlayStation off of 360, but I miss it because I so miss.
But yeah,
all
and
the
but see, we're used to that. You know, I know myself. I've had my 360 for what 7 or 8 years, whatever. Excuse me, whatever it is. I'm used to the way they do it. It's Mac and Windows. I'm so used to the way that they did it. So now I'm trying to learn this new thing, and they're still getting up to speed with some things.
The thing is
I'm
that
getting used to it.
It's not as good a console as the 360 is, except for the fact that the 360 is old and slow and it's reached its shelf life. But I think all of the ways that things worked in the 360 were definitely superior than what Sony PlayStation 4 has right now.
I don't know.
It just
to a
used to
certain
be
degree.
a little bit, especially with the social part. It had it shipped together.
I think a lot of that is what Goalie's saying. You're just used to a certain way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
well,
remember when you I got a 360 on launch day, and on launch day I got into playing a bunch of online games, which was my first experience with a console and online. And most of the friends that I made during launch day, I still have on the 360 till today. And yeah, minus Goldie, I guess he doesn't like me anymore.
Did you meet Goalie on launch day?
Huh?
You met Goalie on launch day?
No, I didn't mean the Goldie on launch day, but but lately he doesn't like me. But yeah, other than that,
Lately, like in the last 3 years, lately.
yeah.
Oh, be nice to my social manager.
Like since forever lately.
So, but other than that, and one thing I did notice, a lot of those friends that did make a launch, they did actually ended up getting a Xbox One. That's one thing they did do. They continued that friendship on over there. But from those, I also have a good amount that also switched to PS4. So now, some like you notice, a lot of those communities are coming over. They're remaking friends, and as the system grows, as things improve, everything's going to change. Look at the 360 now to what it was when it first launched. Completely different system. And with all the updates and everything going to be pushed out, I could see by next year the PS4 is going to be different.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hoping for, is that the PlayStation 4 is when it gets its next spring update or fall update or whenever it does its update, that it's going to actually start changing the organization, because it's a little clunky right now, but I see it getting better. But you're saying that Sony came in and did something and did a great. That Sony didn't do shit. Sony sat back and watched Microsoft fuck up. It didn't have to do anything.
I don't know.
It just kept its mouth shut. Waited for somebody in Microsoft to say, Xbox One does this, and then Sony just one-upped them. And they didn't release anything of their own right. It was always just a one-upsmanship. They put themselves in a really good position of a way that they couldn't possibly fail, because they didn't say anything about their own console unless it was in light of whatever Xbox One had said.
Okay, I don't know.
You don't think so? I mean, we were talking about that for weeks. About how as soon as Microsoft said, "Oh, you're going to be able to have."
Are we talking about the news story, or are we talking about something?
Goalie had said some time ago, just kind of getting to it, was that Sony gave us exactly what we want. Here comes Sony, and they did a great job, and they were doing what they needed to do. And I said, Sony didn't do anything. Just Sony let Xbox, like Microsoft, talk its ass off, and then came in behind them with other information that would one up them all through the whole year.
Yeah, pretty much the console that they announced back pretty
Am I
much a year.
speaking like some foreign language, or are you guys not hearing me?
You're cutting in and out.
No, I can hear you, but I've also lost kind of interest.
Oh, fine. What do you
I
want
don't
to
know.
talk
Okay,
about,
you know
Nick?
what?
Come on, Pookie. You're such a
I say
snowflake.
let's make a New Year's
You are my
resolution.
special snowflake. You're my little man. What do you want to talk about?
GameHound's New Year's resolution. No
Yes.
more talking about the 2013 E3.
Okay.
No
I'm
more
good.
talking about like PlayStation versus Xbox One and all that stuff. Like from now on, the consoles exist as they are now. It doesn't matter what they were 6 months ago.
I agree with that. I think that's a good resolution.
But that's what we want to talk about. Hello.
All goalie wants to talk
It's
about.
like yeah, let's not talk about hockey anymore on the hockey show. Nick, I'm going to delete you along with Piss Boy. Holy cow! I people listen to the show right now. I tell you, I don't know what else to say, folks. We have quite the crew here today between Piss Boy and Nick. Let's not talk about video game related stuff on the video game show.
No, he didn't
Wait,
say
what?
that. He said,
Oh,
let's not talk about E3 2013.
Hello, welcome to the Game Hounds. We're strictly Wii U in 2014. We're going to talk about Zelda. We're going to talk about all these games that only Yaga plays.
I
It's
was
like we've
gonna
had the same arguments about the 360 and PS3 for the past 6 months. And
Agreed.
it's like, okay, whatever, we get it.
Right. Actually, Goalie brought up another story that I think was kind of important that was overshadowed, obviously, by the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. It was the Wii U. There's a really interesting story that kind of never really, it sort of hit this show, but it, because of the nature of what it was, didn't really make a huge impact in the gaming world, was the failure of the Wii U. Here's a console that in its previous iteration pretty much owned all the households, that it was the thing, not only the thing to have for multiple Christmases, but it was cheapest. It was certainly cheapest for what it was. It had all new technology that should have been very friendly, very easy to use. I played it. I thought it was awesome. It had a lot of the features that the Xbox One has.
Okay.
Television pass-through.
I don't know if I'd say it
Failed.
failed, though.
Okay, I want you. I just read it a weekly hardware chart, and according to 21st December, the week before Christmas, the Wii U sold more than Xbox One.
What? Really? Because
Yes.
previous it sold less than something like 500,000 of them. I mean,
No,
it had sold a miserable amount previous to that, to the point of where UK retailers were pulling them off of shelves because they didn't want to waste the space.
Yeah, and this according to this weekly hardware chart, and the 3DS outsold, of course, everything.
Well, yeah.
Over 1 million during that week, but it was during that week, yeah, the Wii U outsold the Xbox One.
Well, what's the numbers? What's by
It
what?
was VG charts.
VG charts?
Yeah.
There we go. I am looking at VG charts right now. The software, hardware charts, the Wii U in North America. Yeah, it did. But the
globally.
PS3, but look how much. It's half the amount of the 360.
Yeah.
Right. It sold. No, the Xbox One, the North, let's see, I'm looking at 319. Oh, yeah, but it was mostly in It's because the Xbox One isn't being sold in Japan. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an unfair advantage. We're looking at. I was looking at North America. North America, it did not outsell the PS4. It was half the
No.
PS4, half the Xbox One, and it doesn't count because neither one of them at that point were being sold in Japan. So you can't look at it that way. Yeah, that's an unfair comparison. No, I would say that the Wii U, comparing North America, which is, well, I guess you could also compare Europe because they were both out in North America and Europe. But the PS4, according to the weekly hardware chart ending December 21st, PS4 sold 290,000. Xbox
In
One
North
sold
America.
225,000. Wii U sold 130,000. So yeah, I would call that a failure.
No,
It's
it's
not
just
that-
third place.
I would. Well,
There's a
what?
failure is Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Failure
Yeah.
is okay, we're getting
Alright.
out of the hardware business.
All right, to bring this into the Jahai McCoy or whatever her name, the Jahai McGrath or whatever her name, the 13-year-old. Okay, let's just call it the Wii U is in a permanent vegetative state, but it's not brain dead. I'll give you that. It's not selling at all, and it's not going to go well. But I would call it certainly not the success that they had expected because it sold
That's for sure.
less than
But
a
also-
million of them.
And also,
fewer than a million worldwide.
it's just really
It's-
unfortunate that it comes after the Wii because the Wii was successful to a degree no one expected.
Right.
Yeah.
And then everyone expected everything from the Wii. You know, it's easy to be great when no one's expecting anything of you.
Right. Well,
So-
the Wii was a dark horse, and it was a dark horse for everybody except those who tried it at E3 that year.
And especially because the Wii, the regular Wii, you couldn't buy it after 1 year after it launched because they just couldn't make them fast enough.
Well, no, that's the other thing is that they specifically engineered a shortage so that they could be the most wanted present for over Christmas, so they would get news reports about how they wanted them so badly. I mean, the news, even on December 24th, the news was saying that you've got, one of the most wanted things this year is one of the new consoles, and this year it's going to be PlayStation 4 from Sony and Xbox One, and you're very hard to find either one of them on shelves. They're both sold out on shelves. And they were saying this on December 24th. And I'm yelling at the TV going, no, they're not both sold out. If you want an Xbox One, go walk into the store. They're there. It's just that there was lazy reporting on the side of the news because they were used to shortages. Because Nintendo specifically engineered a shortage
Is
specifically.
there actually
for
any
Christmas.
evidence of that, or is that just conspiracy thinking?
Here's my evidence: is that
Okay, so that's a no.
Sony specifically said that was one of the things they were afraid of is having too many of them on the shelves because they didn't want to have a perception that they weren't selling. That means that they control how many are on the shelves. There was no way 2 years after the Wii came out that that they couldn't get enough on the shelves. 2 years.
I can see that.
No, but the thing is, and when the ones that were on the shelves are the ones that end up costing about $600 because you have to get them in a bundle with a bunch of games and a bunch of other stuff to go with it.
Right, exactly.
Except most of that isn't on Nintendo's doing. Most of that's the retailers doing.
No, Nintendo bundles these things.
Not really.
No, it was the stores. It was their own store bundles. Yeah. If you wanted it, you had to get in a bundle. And if you didn't want to get in a bundle, you had to wait until they actually had some to sell, not in a bundle.
I will stake my life. I will give you everything in my house, Nick. If you could find me evidence anywhere, definitive evidence.
Well, that's an easy bet to make because, like any conspiracy theory, it's hard to prove it wrong.
Yeager said he got a
Prove
date.
to me the moon landing was real.
I think that the body of evidence proves that.
Of course you'd think that.
You
You're just
believe-
sheep following what the news tells you.
Oh, Nick, you're such a cute member of the Flat Earth Society. So I think that was a really interesting story. Maybe not the most important, but the fact that the Wii U really, really, really tanked compared to what I think everybody, including especially Nintendo, expected it to do. It just got bowled over.
Yeah, especially because they thought they were going to get the third parties in there, and
the third parties thought there was going to be more sales, and the third parties went running, screaming from that console.
Although I do gotta say, like,
2013.
I actually kind of want a 3DS. Like, there have been enough games that have come out that when I look at it, I think, man, this looks really cool.
I have a 3DS. I'm looking at it right now, sitting at the shelf. I think I've turned it on twice. But now that I have a Vita, I kind of really don't see any need.
Oh, but see, I want to play Fire Emblem Awakening. I want to play...
Which is good. I have it.
Legend of Zelda, A Link Between Worlds. I want to play these, like... Well, any of, like, Professor Layton or...
yeah, I kind of do want to play the
Ace Attorney.
Right.
Well, then they're, like, these weird interactive novels, like... Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Stand, or something like that. A 999.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a bunch of games. Like, I actually was looking through, and I was making this Amazon wish list, and I was like, oh, hey, here's a 3DS game I'll add. Here's a 3DS game I'll add. And then I looked at the Vita, and I was like, sure, I'll add the Vita and Uncharted, and
which you get free with PSN account, with the PS Plus account.
Yeah, and then I was like, I don't know what else exists for the Vita that I want. You know what? Screw the Vita. I'm gonna take that away.
Well, to argue you, and I think Goli will argue it as well, is that both Carl said, you said as well, there's really nothing on the Vita. No, here's what's on the Vita. Everything on my PlayStation 4.
Yeah, there is now, yeah.
Vita.
Yeah.
Well, I want to
play
say...
Battlefield. I can play Assassin's Creed.
I'd rather play on PlayStation 4 game on PlayStation 4.
Oh, absolutely.
Sure, I would rather too, but if I'm somewhere else, like over at my parents' house, and I want to play a little Assassin's Creed, just sailing around and beating stuff up, it works pretty
well. Sometimes you're just sitting in bed, and you're like, I don't feel like getting up, and blah, 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 so I'm just going to pull out the Vita and, play a little bit here.
Yeah, agreed. I'm a firm believer in the place, especially when Don't Starve comes. I'll be able to play Don't Starve.
I haven't played.
I think it's cross-buy. I think that one would be.
Okay.
Has anybody played Resogun on the Vita yet? That's probably a pretty good Vita game to play.
I would imagine, yeah. It's
that and Diablo. When Diablo comes out on PlayStation, that should be pretty good.
Oh, that reminds me. I got a Diablo 3 for Xbox for Christmas.
Oh.
I haven't actually played it yet. I played a lot of GTA. But
that would get me back into 360 in a hurry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, God, it's 11:47 already. You should probably break off so I can go get something to eat and then come back at noon.
If I break off, I'm probably not going to come back. So if you guys want to,
yeah, you can come back. Nick, do you mind?
No.
Or we could just not do happy endings. I mean, we have done this show live.
Yeah.
Continue it from here.
Because we have yet to talk about you're under embargo for that beta, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
the one you kind of talked to you about and ignored.
Yeah. I sorry. It was got caught up in the rest of stuff. It would have been fine if we'd actually had that extra half an hour that we wasted on stupid internet. By the way, what is your ping right now?
Mine?
Giggity. No.
76, 68, 73.
Yeah. See, mine was at 27,000.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why. And it would jump between
that's
200 and 27,000. So that's why I was having issues.
Your neighbor is downloading like a shit ton of porn.
I know. And I think it's a specific person. I think it's a specific person because normally on Wednesdays, it's perfectly fine until noon. And then all of a sudden it crashes. Because remember, we would do the show and it would be fine. But then we wouldn't do the show, or we'd do happy endings and it would be ass. Like all of a sudden it would go to shit. And of course, today is New Year's Day, and it's starting today. Now all of a sudden, it's ass. So I'm thinking it's a specific person or persons that are like jumping on the internet and pounding it and trying to stick 2 pounds of turkey down it. And why can't I do that? It's the internet.
It's the internet. I should be able to stick 2 pounds of turkey
able to
down
stick
it.
2 pounds of turkey down it. I love you, Mrs. Goalie. I love you. It's a great story. I actually played that for my brother over Christmas. I'm like, this is my co-host. Because he's a contractor, and he's like, yep, I know that one. Made a lot of money on calls like that.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
So, yeah, it was a good. So, I'm so want to say thank you since it's New Year's, and if I have a resolution, it's to be grateful for the things that I have. I'm grateful for all the listeners right now, and I'm grateful to you guys for being my friends. You're my best friends, and I hope you have a really safe, really happy New Year.
I hope I do too. Nick, I don't know, man. It just,
I hope I did.
Yeah, Nick, don't get yourself killed, because I don't know how this show could go on without you and your sparkling personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show.
I'm the glue that holds this shit show together.
No, you know what's funny is I was talking to some of the listeners in the PlayStation chat rooms that we got, and they were saying that Nick is like Larry of the Three Stooges. Didn't really have a function, except he wasn't the smart one and he wasn't the funny one. So you kind of needed Larry on the Three Stooges to make Moe and Curly better.
He was the one that asked the common sense questions that set up the punchline for the other two.
Exactly.
You need a straight man.
We need a guy that plays violin.
And then, of course, there's Piss Boy, who makes us all. If you ever go to our Facebook page and you see the constant stream of information coming to you of the stories from out in the world, he's the one that does all of that, and he does that while he's working, which is even more awesome. So,
Wait,
Piss Boy,
while he's driving?
not while he's driving.
That's highly dangerous.
He
No,
does.
not while I'm driving.
Not while he's driving, but throughout the day when he's not driving. He's checking news and posting it to the Facebook page, which says he's a great, great addition. I'm so glad that I made you, our manager, and I'm very thankful for your friendship. You are a good friend, good gamer, awesome person to have on the Game Hounds, and thanks so much for a great year, and I'm looking forward to another year.
Yeah, well, thank you guys too. I mean, besides the time difference and me only being able to play at night, I mean, I really love playing with you guys when I get the chance to, and hearing you guys' stories and really getting to know you guys even better throughout the whole year. And I can't wait to continue it and continue this friendship going on for even longer.
Yep.
So he must post all this stuff on Facebook while he's not playing with me on PlayStation 4.
Right.
I'm at work.
I keep him very busy. See, he's engaged with you with the only way that he can.
I 1 a.m, I get like a text. Oh, who wants to play? Dude, it's 1 a.m.
So
My
wait,
time.
that means Edie is keeping you apart purposely.
Yeah.
Are you
This is
cock blocking me?
wrenching the
You are
friendship.
so cock blocking me.
I know, she is. I mean, Piss Boy just wants to make some sweet, sweet love to you, goalie, but Edie is just there like ball and chain around his neck.
I like it when we played Borderlands 2 and he sprayed those Skittles all over my face.
Oh yeah, that was fantastic.
Skittles.
So colorful, and it just flew everywhere.
I know. I played.
think I lost. A
You
couple.
know what's fun about Diablo 3, Nick, is that if you get into a game with somebody, that they have more Skittles. They just
Oh, yeah.
drop all their legendary stuff, and it's just like
But
ding,
does
ding,
it-
ding, ding,
but
ding,
does
ding,
it,
ding.
like spray in the same way?
No.
Yeah, it was the fountain was what made it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a pounding than a spray.
Okay.
So when you get into Diablo, and they drop the legendary loot. It's a pound.
Boom.
Yeah,
it
it's
goes boom, boom.
Keeping it classy in 2014. Nice guys.
yeah. Borderlands 2 was a spray. It was just like running through a garden hose.
Like splatter painting the walls. All right, so on that note,
So-
why do you make me say things like that? I used to be a nice girl. Look what you
Really?
Says
It's winning.
my favorite line ever, and I've said this before on the show. This must be going back to like 08 or 07. And I was a listener back then before I became one of these monsters. And Edie's like, I got more dick in college. And that just line just stayed with me forever. It was my favorite Edie line ever. It just, man, if I could have that as my ringtone.
I really did, though.
Well, so did Nick, but he doesn't talk about it.
All right. Well, on that note, let's just in fact, let's go through our PlayStation and our Xbox 360 names, and then let's all jump on 360 and play some Diablo. What do you say?
I don't have Diablo for 360.
Yeah, I'd be up for that. You can,
I have over 300 hours on the PC. I wasn't going to get on the 360.
I could maybe do some Diablo on the 360. We could get the duster out and dust it off, see if it still turns on.
I don't even know if mine turns on.
Someone actually sent me a text today, no joke. Someone sent me, it was either today or yesterday. It says, "Are you still playing Xbox?" Oh, no, are you done with Xbox? And I thought it was
makes me feel really bad.
No, I didn't know if he was looking to buy it or if he wanted my name or what. It was just a weird text that I got from somebody that I don't really play with online. He's a friend that plays hockey with me. It's just, "Are you all done with Xbox?" And it was really a weird text. Like, why would this guy ask me that?
When you say it like that, like I just picture like him being all real shy, kind of abused, maybe.
Yeah,
like the last guy left in the room before after somebody turns out the light.
He's just like, "What?
Guys?
Wait, what happened? I just went to the bathroom."
Yeah, so I just said, no, I'm not quite done yet. I mean, I still like my 360, and I'll get the itch to play Peggle or Puzzle Quest or something like that on the 360. But I just don't know what games are coming up with the 360 that I would buy now. If I want to play hockey, I got to go to 360. If I want to play Diablo right now, I got 360. But I don't know. The PlayStation's just new. It's the thing is, it's so fast. Like I can go there right now and in 1 minute be into a game.
Yeah.
30-second boot up.
Warframe?
Warframe does take a long time to load. But if I want to play,
you know what? I could probably launch the PlayStation or boot up the PlayStation and boot up Warframe and be into Warframe before the 360 boots up.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. That's the best thing about it. I timed it. It was a 30-second boot up to the dash, and then I hit the X button for Battlefield, and it was another 20 to 30 seconds for that to load, and then I was searching for games. It was like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Literally 360, I turn it on, and I go take a dump. I, check the mail.
Exactly. I would go and I would make like a
cut the grass.
Turn it on. So that way, by the time I switched over I'd watch television while I'd started it up and then switch over because I just didn't want to sit there and look at it.
Yeah. Yep. So I might turn it on now if you guys want to play tonight.
Yeah.
Give it a good 3 hours to boot up.
Yeah.
Dust it off.
Seriously, I don't even know if it works. I think I got on the other day for something. I don't even know what I was on, but I see everybody's on the Xbox One on my friends list or PS4. Like there's nobody in Xbox 360 anymore.
That's also another reason to go in to look at your friends list to see who's on Xbox One.
It's
I do
seriously
kind of like that it shows you who's got Xbox.
I don't know how many friends I had. I probably had 50 or 60 friends, and if they're on Xbox One, and if they're not on, then they're on PlayStation 4. The core group of my playing people are on PS4 right now.
Yeah, same here.
That's just the way it is. So if you want to play some Diablo, I'll do that. Or if you want to, I've been playing some more Battlefield on PS4. I've been doing that.
I also got Killzone, and I haven't played it yet.
I want.
Good luck.
I want to try the multiplayer on Killzone.
It's ass.
I played it the other day, Nick, and I've been chipping away at it. Actually, it was Dream Scar actually helped me through the first mission and kept me playing the game. Then I played the second and third mission on my own. I have never played a shooter game that I cared less about. And I went back to it because I have it. I don't want to get rid of it. The multiplayer was okay. It's just team deathmatch stuff or whatever, or capture a point. And they actually had a newbie room, which I thought was really, really cool. You could go in, if you were a lower level guy, you could go in this room and it was like basic weapons only, nothing crazy. And so that was perfect for a guy like me who doesn't like to play deathmatch. So it was kind of a chance to warm up and play the game. And I actually did okay. But the single player campaign, oh my gosh, you don't know you have to wait to get shot to see where they're shooting from. It's the graphics just are not there. I don't know what it is. They're fine. Like, if you look at your gun, it's beautiful. If you look at your feet, it's beautiful. Anything beyond that, it's just it seems like it's just a blur. It's really not like Battlefield or Call of Duty where everything's like crisp and clean and no caffeine and you can see everything. So, yeah, good luck with it. Let me know how you make out with it, because I find myself, if I had to go to the dentist or continue the single-player campaign on Killzone, I'd probably flip a coin.
Wow.
It's just not there. It's not fun. You just don't care. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know how to get places. It's just so milquetoast for a shooter game that was a launch title. I would rather play Battlefield or Call of Duty any day over Killzone. And I'm only playing it because I bought the damn thing and I want to give it some use.
Right.
And I just don't care. I don't care.
Yeah, the multiplayer, or sorry, the campaign turned me off
It's stupid.
instantaneously. And then I never even bothered to get into the multiplayer because the campaign was like, fuck this. I don't even like the controls. It was just like gone.
Yeah, it's hard to see stuff. And there's even a button to show you where your objective is. And it lights up. And you still don't know where to go. Mm-hmm. How bad is that? That you have a button to show you where to go, and you still don't know where to go.
Right.
So anyway.
All right, well,
But let me know, Nick. Let me know. I want you to try it out. Let me know what you think.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm interested to know your impressions. You'll probably end up loving it.
Best game of the year, man. By
That's
far.
right. You're a dick.
There's nothing with this.
Now we know
You know what it is? There's nothing worse than trying to figure out what to do in a game. It was like a puzzle game. It's just what it feels like. It's a puzzle game. What to do next? Where to go and what's the next objective? We're not going to tell you. You need to figure it out. So it's like a puzzle game within a shooter game.
Yep.
And you're too busy trying to figure things out that you can't enjoy the game because you're too busy trying to figure things out.
So then, if they just advertise Killzone as a puzzle game, it'll be perfect.
Say perfect.
That's it.
Yes.
Game of the year
It's
for
a
Nick.
great
An action
it's a
puzzler.
fantastic puzzle game.
Action puzzler.
Yeah.
What is the goal? You we're not going to tell you. You got to figure out what the goal is. You got to figure out where to go. You got to figure out when you're in a crowd of people which is the bad guys that are shooting at you, which are not the bad guys. That's the other thing. I kept shooting at my own guys because they don't make any distinction between the good guys and the bad guys.
I see my guys anyway. Anybody plays Warframe with me knows they're going to get shot.
Oh yeah.
You run in front of me,
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot you because I can't tell.
It's not bad design. It's a feature.
All right. On that note, let's close this out. There you go. Hold on. Let me do this again. Make it classy because they're classy. Ready? All right. There you go. Shut up. You have been listening to Game Hounds episode. What is it? Fuck, I can't even remember. Okay, episode 200 and something. We are recording on January 1st, 2014. Happy 2014! Happy January! You've been listening to Holy Goalie, Edie Sellers, and Nick DiNicola joining us as special guests is Piss Boy, our social media manager. Speaking of social media, be social with us. Gamehounds.net is our website. Facebook.com/The Gamehounds is our Facebook page, which Piss Boy keeps updated with the latest news and information. You can also email us at gamehounds@gmail.com. And, of course, there is the text line that Goalie always responds to.
Oh,
and that
yeah.
number is
304-300-9889.
All right. So have we decided we're going to go Diablo, or are we going to go what?
I thought we were all going to play Killzone. That's what I got out of it.
Yeah, I'll put it
That's what I heard.
Do we want to all play Killzone?
No, I want to play Diablo.
Okay, let's play Diablo then. All right, so we're not going to do happy endings today because I could just tell, like, the energy of the room is just sucked out. So, yes, I made that sound, Gully. I'm not going to repeat it.
That's my new ringtone
Yep.
when Nick calls. I'm going to let it ring.
Okay, so
They make like a spinning
I
sound.
had to change the fart ringtone on the text line because everybody kept texting me, and I said that fart noise sounds really real. I'll be sitting in the bank. Oh man, someone's texted me. No, really, it's a text. Yeah, you just shit yourself, man. No, I didn't.
all right, so yeah, we're gonna go over and play some Xbox 360, some Diablo 3. So we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye, guys.